Good morning. Wait, can you hear me? Okay. We have a lot of mics up here today, so I want to make sure they're all working. Good morning, and welcome to Emerson Unitarian Universalist Congregation. It's so good to be together with you here in person and online. It's especially lovely to see so many people here today during the summer on this beautiful day. Thank you for coming and for tuning in. My name is Rebecca Edwards, and I am today's worship assistant. In the pulpit today, we have Ayanna Kafi, Emerson member and first-year seminarian, seminarian at the Star King School for Ministry. If you're joining us for the first time this morning, welcome. As Unitarian Universalists, we're a people of diverse beliefs, but we share a common faith that every person is worthy of love, that what we do in the world matters, that we are connected to one another and to the earth. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome here. I need a chalice lighter. Bruce, thank you. Jeffrey. This morning we join with a 1,000 plus Unitarian Universalist churches who begin worship with the lighting of a chalice. This marks the beginning of our time together as we create beloved community for reflection, compassion, and a celebration of today. In the spirit of love and the beloved community, let's share in our congregational affirmation. We need not think alike to love alike. Let's greet and welcome each other to this new day. Those in the sanctuary, feel free to move around to offer greetings, and for those online, please use the chat to introduce yourself.
Good morning. To be free, you must embrace the breath of your own existence without apology. Even if they try to take it from you, you must know that you can do whatever you want. You are not a kudzu vine eating entire hillsides for the purpose of feeding your own lush life. You must know instead that inside you our entire universes, milky blue, magenta, and gold, expanding. But to actually be free, you must know, and you must fight for the entire universes inside of everyone else. Being free is not a license, but a promise. To the People Who Have Mistaken Freedom for Liberation by Reverend Julian Soto.
And now please join us, rise in spirit or in voice for our opening hymn, which is Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. It's 361 in the hymnal, but the lyrics will be on the screen.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Jennifer Sara is going to help us this morning by placing our stones. Now we pause and reflect on matters of the heart. Thank you, Jennifer, for placing the stones. For this morning's ritual, we have water and we have river stones. The stones are smooth and the stones have weight. They're indicative of both life's pleasures and times of ease, as well as life's burdens and times of heaviness. The water receives these stones with ease and calmness. Each week, you are invited to write a joy, sorrow, or concern in this book, which is in the front or the back of the sanctuary, or email it to pastoralcare@emersonuu.org to be read. If you're online, we invite you to recreate this at home. You place a stone in a bowl of water to honor what is in your heart. We begin by placing 3 stones. In honor of the Cherokee and Muskogee nations of indigenous people who lived here before us. For those wrongly enslaved here who labored on this land, and for all those hurting in current conflicts and wars that rage across our globe. And within our community, from Joey Dye, my Aunt Carla Pulliam, who you met briefly at the last 2 Christmas Eve services, died July 5 after a couple of weeks in hospice care. Please hold my family in your thoughts and prayers. And a joy. It's a joy Hotlanta signs replaced our banners at the street at no cost to us. Thank you, owners of Hotlanta signs. And from me, my daughter Sophie Edwards is engaged. And my son Leo Edwards celebrated his birthday yesterday. It's a happy time in the Edwards household. From Julie, I landed a full-time job with benefits at another bakery. I'm excited to start. Yay. From Josh Johnson, a joy. I'm so glad our sign out front was replaced so quickly. Thanks to Hotlanta signs. And the old sign looks great on the wall in my living room. We will not be deterred. From Judy Smith, a great joy to my family. My sister Maggie and her longtime partner Susan are getting married today. It's about time. In thankful awareness, let's say the Buddhist prayer of loving kindness. Please read or say the words with me. May we all be filled with loving kindness. May we all be free from harm and suffering. May we all be well in body, heart, and mind. May we all be at peace. Blessed be. Unitarian Universalism is a faith often referred to as one of deeds, not creeds. It is how we show up in the world that we live our faith. One way we seek to do this is by partnering with other organizations who work to bring love, kindness, and justice to the world. Each Sunday, we collect financial contributions, which are shared equally with our partner organization. July is Disability Pride Month. For this month, we share our basket with BEATS, Bethany's Equine and Aquatic Therapy Service. BEATS is a therapy company that specializes in the use of hippotherapy and aquatic therapy as primary tools for treating children and adults with disabilities. Specially trained and licensed therapists use the unique properties of these two mediums to maximize treatment outcomes in children with a variety of disabilities. BEATS is a recognized 501c3 nonprofit company and has established a scholarship program to assist families of special needs children to cover the costs of equine and aquatic-related activities. Donations will now be taken. For those in the sanctuary, as the basket is passed, please feel free to offer a donation or check in your order of service for other ways to give. For those online, go to emersonuu.org and select the Giving tab to donate.
We have a representative from BEATS here to speak.
And we have a representative of BEATS here to speak. So sorry, I did not realize that. Come.
Yes, what she said. No, hi. Well, thank you for welcoming me here. I am Bethany, and yes, I grew up riding horses and swimming, and so when I decided to become a physical therapist, I found a love of combining the two. I did not invent them. I came upon them and thought this was fantastic. So when I landed in Woodstock in 2000, I started growing a program to provide alternative therapies to kids and adults from the traditional clinic setting. And so yes, that's where BEATS started at, and we have grown quite a bit to have, I think we have 3 therapists and 4 instructors in total, about 16 horses, and we serve about 60 clients every week, ranging from 2 years old up into well into adulthood. We do provide scholarship for clients. Our initiative this year, because I am a foster parent as well, and that is my heart. I've done that for 20 years with a break in between, but resumed not too long ago. And so seeing other families struggle with wanting to provide for the kids that they have in their care, we started a special scholarship specifically for foster families, and are currently serving 8 kids in therapeutic riding and 1 in therapy. Providing them services so free of charge, so they don't have to worry about that extra expense. We are always searching for volunteers, especially this time of year. It's really hard. Our volunteers range from 14 years old. I've had a couple younger ones, but mostly 14-year-olds. Our most seasoned one right now is 73 years old as of last week and is still helping us weekly. Usually it's a weekly 2-hour shift, but this time of year is hard because I've lost my college goers and some life changes and such, so we're always looking for volunteers. And we're just starting our planning, a little late, for our big 5K. That'll be in November, so we're looking for lots of help with that and stuff. So lots of ways to get involved. I'll be talking in the second hour in the room 103, I think. So I welcome any of you to come and listen. Check us out online at beats-inc.org and follow us.
So giddy up and dig deep. And now we have a story for all ages. Please welcome Patricia Johnson. All you kids, young or old, in spirit or body, come join us at the front.
Good morning. My name's Eva, and I work with Family Ministries Committee. So just before Patricia starts, we see lots of visitors today, and that is so exciting. I wanted to let you know that after the story for all ages, children who are under 8 years old are welcome to join me. We'll be heading out to the nursery to play if they would like to do that, and those ages 8 and older are welcome to stay here for the rest of the service.
Good morning, everyone. The story that I'm reading today is called The Kindness Quilt. My apologies, the slides did not come through, so you're going to have to pay close attention to me. The book is written by Nancy Elizabeth Wallace and illustrated by her as well. One Friday at Sharing Circle, Minna helped Mrs. Bloom hold up a large green book. "I love stories," Minna said. "I do too," said Mrs. Bloom. "I'm going to read an Aesop fable." Mrs. Bloom began reading. So this is a story in a story. The Lion and the Mouse. Long ago, a tiny mouse was scampering through the jungle. By and by, he came upon a great lion snoozing in the tall grass. The mouse was feeling playful, so he plucked a blade of grass and tickled the lion's nose. "Roar!" roared the lion, grabbing the little mouse in his huge padded paw. "What is this, an afternoon snack?" "Please, please, please don't eat me," begged the mouse. "Someday I will do something nice to help you." "Ha, ha, ha," laughed the lion. "You help me?" But he let the mouse go and fell back to sleep. A few weeks later, the mouse was scurrying home when he heard a terrible roar. There was his friend trapped in a net. The little mouse gnawed on the ropes with his sharp teeth and set the mighty lion free. When the story ended, Minna sat down. Then Mrs. Bloom asked, "What's the moral of this fable?" Do you know what moral means? What's moral mean?
Like the meaning of the story.
I know, said Minna. It's about kindness. The lion let the mouse go, and later the mouse helped the lion. I think they both felt happy about being kind. Tyrone said, "It shows you can be kind whether you're little or big." Lindsay said, "We should try to do something kind every day." Dave said, "I'm kind to noodles." "Yes," said Mrs. Bloom, "kindness is a good thing for all of us to practice, no matter how big or small we are. I know that you are all very kind, so let's celebrate kindness with a do and draw and share kindness project." That night, I forget. That night, Minna told Mom, Dad, and Pip, "Mrs. Bloom wants us to do something kind, then make a picture about it and take the picture into school to share. It's a kind of kindness project." "That's a wonderful idea," said Mom. "But," said Minna, "I'm not sure what to do." "We can help you with ideas," said Dad. Early Saturday morning, before Mom and Dad got up, Minna read to Pip. "Reading me books is a good idea for your kindness picture, Minna," said Pip. Minna nodded, "But I'm still thinking." Before lunch, Minna went with Mom to Community Cleanup Day. "Picking up litter in the park is being kind to our earth," said Mom. "That could be an idea for your kindness picture." Minna nodded, "But," she said, "I'm still thinking." Later in the afternoon, Minna and Dad cooked creamy carrot soup for supper. Minna took a big jar to their neighbors. Oops. After supper, Minna got a pencil and paper. "Kindness, kindness," she whispered to herself. "There are lots of kinds of kindness." Dad brought Minna a snack. "Yum," said Minna. Sharing the soup with Mr. and Mrs. Checker Could be an idea for your kindness picture, said Dad. Minna nodded, but she said, what? Still thinking. You can use my new markers, Minna, said Pip. Thanks. Minna started writing and drawing. Later, Mom tiptoed in. She brought Minna scissors and more paper. Minna smiled. Thanks, Mom. Then Minna started cutting. On Sunday afternoon, Minna looked at what she had written and drawn and cut out. Suddenly, Minna knew what she wanted to do. She found her glue stick and got to work. So those are some of the things she drew. On Monday, Minna took her artwork to school. She listened as Carrie, Tyrone, Kyle, and Lindsay shared pictures of their acts of kindness. So on the pictures, it's kindness is setting the table without being asked. Kindness is getting your dad the hammer. Kindness is sharing your toys. Yay, cheer for the other team when your team wins. When it was Minna's turn, she held up her artwork. Ooh, said the class. It looks like a beautiful quilt, said Lindsay. Wow, said Tyrone. If you want to, you can make yours look like a quilt too, said Minna. Great, said Mrs. Bloom. Let's get out the art materials. Kyle, Carrie, Tyrone, Lindsay, since you shared your kindness art today, you can work on your quilt squares. Minna can help. They cut and glued, then they taped their acts of kindness together. Mrs. Bloom hung the paper quilt on the small bulletin board. As the days passed, more acts of kindness happened. Maya sent a card. Kindness is sending a get well soon card. Esteban helped his neighbor. Kindness is weeding for Mrs. Garcia. Aman held a door open. Kindness is holding the door open for someone. Dave took care of Noodles. Okay, now we find out Noodles is a fish. Feeding Noodles and keeping his bowl clean, that is kind. And the kindness quilt grew until it overflowed the small bulletin board. As Mrs. Bloom and the children had to move it to the big bulletin board, oh yeah, it's spreading. As more days passed, more and more acts of kindness happened. Jadelyn was kind to Keisha. Keisha was kind to Zach. Zach was kind to AJ. AJ was kind to Minna. When the kindness quilt overflowed the big bulletin board, Mr. Cooper helped them hang the quilt on the long wall in the hall. Soon other classes joined in. Oops. So it's up to 4th grade now. And the kindness kept growing and growing and growing. Never end. But it's the end of the story. And thanks to my lion here. Do you want to stand up, give a final roar? No? Okay. Let's sing our song of dedication.
Oh, I knew it was something easy. Thank you. I'd like to do a centering meditation together. And I have had inconclusive results with this one, so I'm hoping that this time around I can really feel it out. So I'm going to say some truth later, but first I'm going to give you a tool. If it's accessible, let your eyes become unfocused. And if it feels good, let your eyes drift closed. And let's rest here together just for a moment. Let your breath come and go naturally. And if you notice anything about the quality of it, note that. It's just data. Move your attention to where your body touches the seat. Do you feel supported? If not, is there a way to adjust your body to feel more support? Is there a way to feel more held? In the reverse, seek out where your body is being touched by the air. What is the quality of this relationship? Is your body holding a rigid posture, cutting angles into the air? Is your body soft, spiraling circles into the air? Are you somewhere in between? Are you somewhere else entirely? Now bring your focus to your heart. This could mean placing hands on the heart to feel its persistent rhythm. This could mean bringing your imagination's eye to the space that you associate with your heart. All ways into the heart are the right way. Imagine that with every beat, your body becomes more relaxed. Let this feeling ripple through you. If you have any influence over it, and we don't always, guide this feeling towards the home of your tension. This could be relaxation rippling over your shoulders. It could be the sensation of working out knots in your low back. Relaxation could be whispering safety into the pit of your belly. Wherever you're holding your tension is right. However long it takes to release it is right. Maybe your heart beats to the point that your body becomes a house of safety. If that's possible, could that safety include safety for another? Is it possible that when your heart has worked through enough of your tension, that your hands could be used for holding another's? That your mouth could be used for affirmations? That your hair could tickle someone's cheek? Your smile could be used to brighten rooms, days, and spirits? What would that safety feel like? If your hands are on your heart, let them drift back to a neutral position. If the eye of your imagination is still fixed on your healing heart, let that vision drop. If your eyelids are closed, let them flutter open. Let's just take a few more quiet breaths together. Thank you for joining me for this moment of centering. I often say in the car on the way home, wow, we're so lucky for this music. But I'm never right here when I get to say it. So good. As a child, I never questioned how I looked. I thought that I was supposed to look like my mother, like my sisters, and in the important ways I do. Despite spending my early years in a predominantly white school, I was not aware that there was a nonsensical, monolithic, unobtainable beauty standard that I was supposed to be paying attention to, that I was supposed to feel the urge to break my body for and rebuild myself as an altar to. I thought that I was supposed to look like my mother and all of our mothers all the way back. And that makes sense. And then, all of a sudden, seemingly to punctuate my point, my niece was born. And there were 5 of us spiraling out of our genetic pool to show just how many variations on Black girlhood, Black womanhood could be created from us. In my 20th summer, my middle sister was stressed beyond words. I don't remember the specifics, but I know that I impulsively asked if I could have my niece over for a few weeks as a bit of a reprieve. My sister traveled on public transportation from downtown Atlanta to the easternmost part of Atlanta to deliver my preteen niece with a freshly braided head of hair that could easily last her a month. Inika was the middle child between two very active brothers who she has spent her life traveling beside. I worried that she would be bored by the quiet days in my home. But the reverse was true. Inika spent her time joyfully decorating our guest room with clippings from magazines, sharing with me her dreams of becoming a fashion designer, and spending hours learning choreographed dances in front of our living room TV. The artist needs time and space to play, and play Inika did. Something very few have heard me say is that I am mostly homebound. It's hard to tell because my last job was remote, and so is the seminary that I attend, but I generally can only manage to leave the house 1 or 2 times a week, usually with the help of my partner. Rarely do I go anywhere alone other than to my doctor's appointments. I come straight home and recover for the rest of the day. My fatigue is chronic, but I've learned to live with it. There are small, everyday things I can do to prevent fatigue, such as lifting my arms above my head. And to be very clear, that's where my hands hang out when I do my hair. I spend most of my time in a satin bonnet to keep my hair protected until I absolutely need to style it. While reading the memoirs of Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, I was struck by how our hair stories are slightly mirrored. We both love our hair as well as the heritage it connects us to. However, we live lives where spending extended time on our hair every morning just isn't feasible. The Justice, in her story, spotted a woman with the most beautiful locks she had ever seen walking through a plaza. She approached this woman after following her for a bit. She found out that these thin, flexible locks were called sister locks, and they allow for movement, shape, and almost wearing my hair out without wearing my hair out look. When I look at the Justice, with her medium-toned skin, prominent glasses, natural hair, and a serious turn to her mouth that can at any moment bloom into a genuine smile, I see a reflection of myself. So I spent months researching sister locks and searching for a loctician that I could build a relationship with, who also made house calls and was willing to mask during the entire appointment. This was a tough needle to thread, but I settled on a middle-aged mom with a kid with an autoimmune condition. She wasn't deterred by my complex needs. We spent 24 hours stretched over 2 days in my living room doing the work of starter locks. If you haven't been to a black hair appointment, this is not surprising. The pain of the lock installation was enough to start a flare in my MCAS, and the lack of movement over 2 days was enough to start a lumbar arthritis flare. But on the morning I woke up with a head full of starter locks, I dragged my body to the mirror, and for the first time in years, I saw myself. The hair was affirming. I was elated and carried that feeling through the week, until I began to doubt that the loctician had correctly installed the front quarter of my locks. I turned to the internet and a loctician friend of a friend of a friend, then finally paid to have a consultation with a high-level Sister Locks certified loctician who does not make house calls. She confirmed my suspicion that the loctician I had hired had seemingly gotten discouraged by the amount of hair that she had left to complete and intentionally left the job unfinished. What's worse is that she had done so in a way that was impossible for a loctician to fix. I had long, loose ends hanging out of the tiny starter sister locks. The new loctician laid out my choices. I could do nothing, and the long, loose ends of my hair would fall out as the locks fully formed. I could braid the ends and have two completely different lock patterns in one lock, which is something that wouldn't be so noticeable if the locks in question weren't right next to my face. Or I could comb the locks out, rehab my hair from the experience, and try again. The thought that I had found the perfect accommodation for my hair that I loved so much was demolished, and I was devastated. India Ari sings, "I am not my hair. I am not this skin. I am not your expectations. I am the soul that lives within." I am the soul that lives within. That's a powerful sentiment, one that comforted me as I chose option 3. I wet my hair in the shower, sat on my shower seat, and saturated my hair with conditioner, and proceeded to spend 2.5 hours taking out the improperly installed sister locks. I am the soul that lives within. I managed to remove over half the locks on the first try and proceeded with smaller attempts throughout the week. The elation that I felt when looking in the mirror was gone. I am not my hair, but I do aspire to keep it. My niece grew up, as they often do. She bopped around her first year of undergrad and then threw herself into a textiles major with a concentration that I had never seen from her before. She truly stepped into her identity as an artist and found her medium in her MFA program. And then she stepped into her seat of power in these last few years as a working artist and teacher. This past May, Anika made her way back to Atlanta to exhibit her work in a solo show called On Unstable Grounds at a gallery on the west side of Atlanta. Anika's specialty is creating installations from braiding hair. She weaves shapes and stories out of them, into them. One particular piece, Double Dutch, was to me Anika's unspoken thesis, whispering to all the people who have experienced Black girlhood or grew up close to it that she made this one for us specifically. That while we have diverged in endless ways, we all come from the same place. The piece in its entirety is 2 ropes of hair, one arced downwards at the middle as if it's rhythmically slapping the pavement, and one extending upwards, offering an invitation to whoever might be ready to jump in. Each end of the hair is attached to the handle of a jump rope, literal, so that we as viewers, experiencers, and rememberers can allow our recollections to play. The arched rope is now an invitation for us ourselves to remember where we fit in this work. I myself am earthbound. I have never been one for jumping in, so I would turn the ropes, perfecting my sense of rhythm and singing the playground inherited songs for a playmate to skip rope to. Anika's show on unstable grounds was reviewed by an arts writer and graduate from a widely regarded art school. The writer described Anika's work beautifully, however, approached the concept of black hair being used as an art medium as new territory. This surprised me because Anika's work so clearly stands on the shoulders of generations of Black wisdom. The writer speaks about double Dutch, saying that its use of beads in the woven hair gives connection to hair care that starts in childhood. For me, I was not taken back to the care of my hair. I was a barrette kid, not a bead kid. The use of beads in this piece is a best friend whipping her head too fast and slapping you in the face with them. The use of beads is the first chance you have to choose between starting a fight with a beloved or digging deeper into compassion. She rushes out a sorry as I hold my cheek under the fingers that never seem to warm. I tell her that I know she doesn't mean to hit me. She's all smiles and carefree at this moment. She puts an arm around my shoulders and we start talking about something inconsequential. And the giggles don't stop until we reach the playground. Double Dutch is a very literal jump rope made from hair and is asking Black women and any of those who choose to be the keepers of Black women's stories to put down the baggage and continuous news cycle for a moment of play. This piece is respect and reverence for a shared history. But more than that, I look at Double Dutch and it was the same feeling as looking in the mirror the morning after my Sisterlocks install. It was looking to be seen and then seeing myself in the reflection. The arts writer shared that they found it hard to understand the meaning behind the pieces. They began speaking about communal trauma and all that's been endured regarding Black hair and lamenting that the work wasn't a primer on its history. They ended the review by saying that they felt Anika had missed what might have been a valuable chance to teach this history of Black hair. Solange Knowles sings, "Don't touch my hair when it's the feeling that I wear. Don't touch my soul when it's the rhythm I know. Don't touch my crown. They say the vision I've found. Don't touch what's there when it's the feelings I wear." It's not wrong not to understand the art in front of you. It's actually a profound opportunity to just take it in. It's okay to not have all of the answers, even if you're tasked with giving them. However, when the unrelenting ask of the general public for Black women is to explain themselves and then change themselves and then do even more labor to bridge the gap between them and whoever is observing them. When the ask is so monumental and so consistent, I have to ask in response, and I don't mean to scold, but I have to ask. If it's not your hair, don't touch it. If it's not your lane, get out. If it's not your art, and by that I mean, if the art wasn't a love letter to you specifically, it's all right to simply observe the wonder that is the human experience. Please rise, embody your voice as we join together in song. We shall be known.
The slide will show you the lyrics, and we're going to sing through 3 times. If you're not familiar with this song, listen to it the first time, join us the second time. We'll sing through it 3 times, and we're going to repeat the last 2 lines the last time. Sounds like a lot of directions. All right, let's give it a shot. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known as the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. You got the hang of it? Let's do it again. We shall be known as the company we keep, the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we rise. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to live in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. One more time. We shall be known by the company, the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known as the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we come. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
That's one of my favorites. Oh, I've spoken a lot, but give me 1 second to bring this home for us. As a faith community at large, we have committed to put love at the center as one of our non-negotiable values. We are a community of people who bring wildly different histories, heritages, beliefs, and backgrounds with us. This might seem overwhelming when you're preparing to socially maneuver, but carry this with you. Embrace the not knowing. Enjoy learning about each member of this community as if they are a new, unique, and spectacular work of art, because they are.
As we extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment, these we carry in our hearts and out into our world until we are together again. A few announcements. Continuing our Voices of Emerson, next week we have Leslie McLean. Where do we go from here? Can't wait. Today we have service reflections here in the sanctuary. We also have Beats in room 103, which is a social justice room. We have a can-do activity this week for ages kindergarten, and that will be in room 214 at 11:25. Don't forget to collect special waters from your travels this summer for our August 17th Emerson In Gathering and Water Ceremony. I think that's all. As our service ends, go now in peace and take peace wherever you go.